Welcome to the Puma Bass channel. Today, we're reacting to a cover performance by AHYEON from the group BABYMONSTER. It's the song Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. This song talks about the regrets of a girl who fell in love with a man who disappointed her, used her, and then abandoned her. It's a deeply lamentative song. She's expressing her frustration about the painful situation she went through. Let's see how AHYEON interprets this concept. I've listened to this song a bit before, but now I'll try to analyze it more technically. Many of you asked me to analyze this performance, as well as the other members of the group, and I'll be doing that soon. But for now, let's watch this performance.
Hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted.
Right from the start, we have something extremely challenging. Delivering a musical melody as though it's being spoken. This is very common in classical music pieces, especially from the Romantic era, spanning the 18th and 19th centuries onward. And it demands highly refined technique, particularly to ensure clarity and projection. Here, she's singing in a very low register, which naturally adds a breathier tone. She's effectively using the whisper voice technique, which is a breathy, more airy voice. This adds a sense of lament, tenderness, and fragility that works beautifully in romantic lyrics. She executed it exceptionally well.
Oh God. I see the parties and the diamonds. Sometimes when I close my eyes, expensive torture you sold in so forbidden paradise.
Facial expression is on point. She slightly resonates her voice through the nasal cavity, even though she's in a low range. She doesn't transition to head voice in this section. Instead, she subtly directs it to her nose.
For the stupidity, 'cause I've made some real big mistakes.
Now she transitions to head voice.
Won't look fine, I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you make me look
very expressive, deeply lamentative.
that way you saw me past, and your song you did it to me.
Beautiful, belting. Belting.
Dream crusher, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire.
What she just did was spectacular. She brought in this sense of lamentation in the mid-range, adding that breathy tone, often speaking rather than singing the melody notes. Essentially, just speaking. Simply speaking. She incorporated belting to bring more intensity to the lamentation. Her voice transitioned to head voice, and then she directed it to the nasal area, opening her mouth sideways, bringing brightness and strength, which is very characteristic of AHYEON's voice. A voice with brightness, metallic tones, full, and with great projection. To emphasize the anger behind this complaint, this lament, she utilized belting. She moved up into the head register, following the melody's natural rise, which required this upward progression. But she skillfully applied these technical differences across the registers. This enhanced what both the melody and lyrics are trying to convey. This lament, this disappointment, its pain conveyed through a powerful complaint. Almost like an extended speech. She's truly spectacular here.
Every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. To call it crazy, God, I hate the way you call them crazy too. You're so convincing.
Telling a story.
How do you lie without a flinching?
Very good.
Ooh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, talked up little drill. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. Went for me and not her. Cause girls sure age no better. Side makes a real big mistake.
Beautiful. She transitions from head voice back to chest voice. She constantly moves up and down smoothly, making it seamless, delicate, and perfectly balanced in volume. A truly high-level singer.
The words won't look fine. I should've known it was
More nasal
strange.
resonance.
You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you make me look so naive. That way you told me.
Look at the belting, opening up. Notice the nasal tone. Very open belting. Her characteristic volume.
Letting me try like a goddamn vampire.
Once again, the same structure. As before, she used belting to convey this angry lamentation. And notice, this is a technique frequently used by K-pop artists. Not just the women, but also the men. Many of the performances I've heard make use of this technique, but there are specific ways to execute it. You can't just force it, or you'll end up with a duck voice, as I just demonstrated, but instead, there are nuances, certain gradations to avoid. A duck-like tone and achieve what she did. She used nasal placement without straining. This added a variety of colors, textures, and depth to the sound.
You said it was true love, or wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone, cause that don't mean you had a heart. I try to help you out, now I know that I can. Cause how you think the kind of thing I never understand.
Head voice, mixed voice.
Real big.
She used a mixed voice here. A bit nasal, a bit frontal, more forward, mouth, nose. But she's mostly in the nasal tone here. I wouldn't say it's a high register for her, no. I think she used it more as a resource, not out of necessity.
You make the words won't look fine. I should've known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you make me look so naive. That way you sold me for
Anger.
as you sunk your teeth into me.
She opens up the belting.
Sucker, dream crusher, split.
She slipped a little there. It got away. She lost control of her register in the higher range of this section. That was the only flaw I noticed. Actually, so far, I've noticed two. Wait until she finished the song. I think it's already the ending.
Like a goddamn vampire.
Just at the very end, she tried to open up, and now it confirms something for me. I think she's a mezzo-soprano, not exactly a soprano, who has much higher notes. No, she has a more mid-range voice. She transitions well and has more freedom in her tessitura, going from lows to highs. So she relies a lot on belting, and also on this nasal voice, to make it easier to hit those higher notes. So, at the very end, she faltered on the high note, losing some control of her register. because her support was already very strong, and she needed to open up. But sometimes, depending on how you set up, if you've tensed your vocal tract too much, you might relax it suddenly, and a note comes out less precise. Not that she went off-key, it's just the precision of the register she was aiming for. The only thing I felt was a bit lacking here, which isn't really a flaw, but her choice, was the vibrato. She sometimes used vibrato, but it was very short. To show visually, vibrato would typically look like this, but hers were shorter. I missed them a little, but I think she chose to do that due to some technical limitations. She was using a lot of techniques and registers for this performance, so she decided to leave the vibrato aside, which is totally understandable. Her performance is practically flawless. So, these two flaws, which are barely flaws, well, the only real flaw was at the end with the high note, but even they were almost imperceptible. The only thing I would mention is regarding the vibrato, but the execution here is flawless, perfect, very difficult to do. Something I usually see more in classical music. Very good, really, very good. I liked AHYEON. She showed herself to be a singer who really, if at this age, is she 17 or 18? I never remember. Apologies to the fans again. I can't seem to remember. It's hard to remember everyone's names and ages. But she is someone currently rising and developing her technical skills. And in 2 or 3 years, we'll see her performing on big stages. Next year, BABYMONSTER will be on stage on a world tour. Let's see if they'll bring those covers along, because it's on stage where musicians truly test themselves. That's when they find out their true level. If she performs a piece like the ones she's already done in recorded performances, and does it live on stage, she proved herself to be a truly high-caliber singer. Check out my videos on Chiza and Juria from XG, who are 2 artists already well established. They went on a world tour across 3 continents, and by the last leg, their performances were on an incredibly high level. On an international tour, performing live is where an artist is truly proven. AHYEON is promising. I believe that. If they throw her into the tour now, and she performs covers, I think she handled the challenge. I believe she delivered with high quality. So, that's what I had to say today. I really like AHYEON. I'll keep reacting to her and the other girls because you've been asking. But I liked her a lot. If you enjoyed this video, leave your like and comment down below and subscribe to the channel so you can watch more videos like this. Alright, see you next time.